My beloved brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when you look around and feel like nobody understands you. You try to explain your heart, but people misunderstand you. You try to do the right thing, but somehow you are blamed. You remain silent, yet people continue to talk. You help others, but when you need help, nobody seems to be there. And eventually you sit alone and ask yourself, where is everyone? Why am I going through this? Why does it feel like I am fighting everything by myself? My dear brothers and sisters, remember something very important. Feeling alone does not mean that you are alone. Allah is with you. Allah sees you. Allah knows what you are carrying. Allah knows the truth about you, even when people believe a lie about you. Sometimes Allah allows you to experience loneliness because He wants to bring you closer to Him. You may have spent years depending on people for your happiness, your confidence, your security, and your sense of belonging. Then suddenly, one by one, people disappear. Someone you trusted walks away. Someone you loved changes. Someone you helped forgets what you did for them. And you wonder why Allah allowed it. But perhaps there is a lesson hidden inside that pain. Perhaps Allah is teaching your heart that people can leave, but Allah never leaves. People can change, but Allah does not change. People can misunderstand you, but Allah knows you completely. Think about how often we become desperate for people to understand us. We want everyone to know our intentions. We want everyone to know that we did not mean harm. We want to prove that we were sincere. We want to defend ourselves against every accusation. But sometimes you have to step back and say, Allah knows. That is enough. Allah knows what happened. Allah knows what you intended. Allah knows what you said and what you did not say. Allah knows the tears that nobody saw. Allah knows the conversations that nobody heard. Allah knows the nights when you went to bed with a heavy heart and woke up still carrying the same pain. And this is where faith becomes beautiful. You do not always need to win every argument. You do not always need to convince everyone. You do not need to chase people who have already decided to misunderstand you. Sometimes your greatest strength is your ability to remain calm and leave your matter with Allah. Because when Allah defends you, you do not need an army of people to defend you. When Allah protects your honor, no amount of gossip can destroy what He has preserved for you. My brothers and sisters, perhaps you are going through something right now that nobody knows about. Perhaps you smile in front of everyone, but inside you are exhausted. Perhaps you sit with your family and friends, yet you still feel completely alone. Perhaps you make dua and wonder why the answer has not come. Please do not mistake the delay for rejection. Allah may be preparing something that you cannot see. Allah may be protecting you from something you cannot understand. Allah may be arranging circumstances behind the scenes while you are sitting there thinking nothing is happening. We are human beings and we see only one small part of the story. Allah sees the beginning, the middle and the end. You see today's pain. Allah sees tomorrow's wisdom. You see the closed door. Allah sees what was behind that door. You see someone leaving. Allah sees what their presence would have done to your future. You see the rejection. Allah sees the redirection. You see the delay. Allah sees the perfect timing. Sometimes you cry because Allah did not give you what you wanted. But years later you look back and say, Alhamdulillah. You realize that what you were begging for would not have been good for you. You realize that the relationship you desperately wanted would have damaged your peace. You realize that the opportunity you thought was perfect would have taken you away from Allah. You realize that the person you thought you could not live without was actually someone Allah was protecting you from. So do not judge Allah's plan based only on one painful chapter. A difficult chapter is not the end of the book. Your story is still being written. Your dua is still being heard. Your future is still unfolding. You may be standing in a place where you cannot see the road ahead, but Allah sees every step. And when people turn against you for no reason, remember that Allah knows the truth. If someone has wronged you, do not allow their wrongdoing to turn you into someone you are not. Do not become cruel because someone was cruel to you. Do not become dishonest because someone deceived you. Do not become bitter because someone broke your heart. You answer to Allah, not to the behavior of people. Maintain your character. Maintain your salah. Maintain your connection with Allah. Let your response show who you belong to. There is a special kind of strength in saying, Ya Allah, you know. You may not have the words to explain your pain, but Allah does not need an explanation. He already knows. Sometimes your dua is nothing more than tears. Sometimes you raise your hands and cannot even speak properly. Sometimes all you can say is, Ya Allah, help me. And that is enough. Allah hears the voice of the broken heart. Allah knows the desperate heart. Allah knows the servant who comes back to Him after being disappointed by everyone else. Never think your tears are wasted. Never think your quiet patience is unnoticed. Never think your sacrifices are meaningless. There are things you do for Allah that nobody on earth will ever appreciate, but Allah knows. You may forgive someone and nobody knows how difficult it was. You may walk away from something sinful and nobody applauds you. You may wake up for prayer while everyone else is sleeping. You may give charity secretly. You may control your anger when you had every opportunity to respond. These things may be invisible to people, but they are not invisible to Allah. And perhaps this is what you need to hear today. You do not need everyone to stand beside you when Allah is beside you. You do not need everyone to believe in you when Allah knows your potential. You do not need everyone to understand your heart when Allah understands it better than you understand it yourself. Look at the story of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. He experienced betrayal from those closest to him. He was separated from his family. He was taken away and placed in circumstances he did not choose. He faced accusations and imprisonment. If anyone could have asked, why is this happening to me? It was Yusuf. Yet Allah was guiding the entire journey towards something he could not see at the beginning. What looked like one disaster after another was eventually part of a greater plan. That should give you hope. Your current situation may not make sense. Your loneliness may not make sense. Your rejection may not make sense. Your delay may not make sense. But Allah's wisdom does not depend on your ability to understand it immediately. So if you are alone today, do not waste that loneliness. Turn it into a meeting with Allah. Put your phone down. Step away from the noise. Make wudu. Pray 2 units of prayer. Sit after salah and speak to Allah honestly. Tell Him what hurts. Tell Him what you fear. Tell Him what you wish could change. Then leave it with Him. And when you walk away from that prayer, do not expect every problem to disappear immediately. Expect something even more valuable, a heart that knows it has placed its burden with the one who is capable of carrying it. Maybe Allah is not asking you to understand everything. Maybe He is asking you to trust Him. Maybe the people who left were not your punishment. Maybe their departure was your protection. Maybe the closed door was not your failure. Maybe it was Allah's mercy. Maybe the loneliness is not evidence that you have been forgotten. Maybe it is an invitation to come closer to the one who never forgets you. So keep going. Keep praying, keep making dua, keep your heart clean, keep your tongue away from unnecessary complaints. Keep doing what is right, even when nobody appreciates it. And when you feel like nobody is defending you, remember that Allah does not need to defend you in the way you expect. He can change hearts, He can expose truth, He can remove harm, He can open doors, He can replace people, He can change circumstances. He can give you strength, He can give you peace. And He can take you from a situation you thought would destroy you and make it the reason you became stronger in faith. One day you may look back at this period of your life and understand why Allah allowed you to walk through it. You may realize that your loneliness taught you sincerity. Your rejection taught you patience. Your betrayal taught you reliance upon Allah. Your tears taught you how to make dua. Your closed doors taught you that Allah's plan is greater than your plans. So do not give up because you feel alone. Do not think Allah has forgotten you. Do not allow one painful season to make you doubt the mercy of your Lord. Allah knows, Allah sees, Allah hears, Allah is aware. And perhaps the most beautiful thing you can say when you have nobody left to turn to is, Ya Allah, I have you. If you truly have Allah, you have not lost everything. If Allah is with you, there is always hope. If Allah is guiding you, there is always a way forward. And if Allah is protecting you, sometimes the very thing you are crying over today may be the thing you will thank Him for tomorrow. So breathe, be patient, make dua, keep your salah strong. Leave your affairs with Allah. Let people say what they want. Let them misunderstand you if they must. You do not have to spend your entire life proving yourself to everyone. Allah knows you. Allah sees you. Allah has not forgotten you. And even when you feel like you are standing alone, remember that the believer is never truly alone when the heart is connected to Allah. There are moments in life when loneliness becomes so heavy that you begin to question everything. You look around and realize that the people you thought would always be there are no longer beside you. Someone you trusted has walked away. Someone you loved has changed. Someone you depended upon has disappointed you. Perhaps you are surrounded by people, yet your heart still feels completely alone. You smile, you talk, you continue with your responsibilities, but deep inside you are asking, Ya Allah, where is everyone? Why do I feel like I have nobody? My dear brothers and sisters, understand this clearly. Feeling alone does not mean that Allah has abandoned you. Your feelings are real, but they are not always telling you the complete truth. You may feel forgotten by people, but you are never forgotten by Allah. Allah knows exactly where you are in your life. He knows the circumstances you cannot explain. He knows the pain you hide behind your smile. He knows the tears that fall when nobody is watching. He knows the thoughts that keep you awake at night. He knows the questions you are afraid to ask anyone. You may not have the strength to explain your situation to another human being, but you do not need to explain yourself to Allah. He already knows. Before you lift your hands in dua, Allah knows what your heart needs. Before you speak about your pain, Allah knows it. Before you cry, Allah knows why those tears are coming. Sometimes Allah allows people to leave your life because He wants you to discover a deeper form of dependence upon Him. We often say that we trust Allah, but then our hearts become attached to people. We believe we cannot be happy without a particular person. We think we cannot survive without someone's approval. We become dependent on someone's attention, affection, friendship, or support. Then Allah allows that attachment to be tested. It hurts. Of course it hurts. You are human. You will cry, you will miss them, you will wonder why they left. But sometimes the pain of losing a person becomes the beginning of finding your way back to Allah. Do not misunderstand this. Islam does not tell you that people do not matter. People matter. Family matters. Friendship matters. Love matters. Kindness matters. But your heart should never depend upon creation in a way that makes you forget the Creator. People are temporary. Allah is eternal. People can promise and fail. Allah's promise is true. People can be present today and absent tomorrow. Allah is always near. People may not understand your heart, but Allah knows it completely. Sometimes you are asking Allah, why did you take this person away? While Allah may be protecting you from something you cannot see. You are looking at the empty space left behind and thinking only about what you lost. Allah sees what would have happened if that person had remained. You see separation. Allah may see protection. You see rejection. Allah may see redirection. You see loneliness. Allah may be creating space for your relationship with Him to become stronger. Think about how many times you have wanted something desperately, only to discover later that it was not good for you. At the time, you were convinced that your happiness depended on receiving it. You cried for it, you prayed for it. You thought, if only Allah gives me this, everything will be perfect. Then Allah did not give it. Time passed, your heart healed, and eventually you realized, Alhamdulillah, Allah knew better than I did. This is why you must not judge Allah's mercy according to your present emotions. Your heart sees today. Allah knows tomorrow. Your heart sees the closed door. Allah knows what is behind that door. Your heart sees the person who walked away. Allah knows the future you would have experienced if they had stayed. You see the loneliness. Allah sees the lesson, the protection, the growth, and perhaps the doors that will open because this one closed. My dear brothers and sisters, there is a difference between being alone and being abandoned. You may be alone in a room, but Allah is aware of you. You may have no one to call, but Allah hears you. You may feel that nobody cares, but Allah's knowledge encompasses every detail of your life. The believer's greatest comfort is not that life will always be easy. It is knowing that no matter how difficult life becomes, Allah is never absent. So when loneliness comes, do not immediately run toward anything that will distract you from the pain. Turn toward Allah. Make your loneliness an opportunity for dua. Stand before Him when the world is quiet. Tell Him what is in your heart. Cry if you need to. Ask Him for strength. Ask Him for guidance. Ask Him to remove unhealthy attachments from your heart. Ask Him to replace what you lost with something better for your dunya and your akhirah. Perhaps this lonely season is teaching you something that comfort never could. Perhaps Allah is teaching you that your worth does not depend on how many people choose you. Your worth does not disappear because someone rejected you. Your value does not decrease because someone failed to appreciate you. Your dignity is not determined by people's opinions. You are a servant of Allah, and your greatest honor is your connection with Him. So do not let loneliness convince you that you are forgotten. When you feel alone, remember Allah. When you feel rejected, remember Allah. When people misunderstand you, remember Allah. When you have nobody to tell your pain to, speak to Allah. When you cannot see a way forward, ask Allah to guide you one step at a time. And remember, sometimes Allah removes the noise around you so you can finally hear your own heart turning back to Him. Sometimes He allows you to lose a source of comfort so you discover the ultimate source of comfort. Sometimes He lets you walk through a quiet valley because He wants you to learn that even there, you are not walking alone. You may not understand what Allah is doing right now. That is okay. You do not need to understand everything to trust Him. Keep your salah, keep making dua, keep your heart hopeful, keep saying Alhamdulillah even when the circumstances are difficult. Your loneliness is not proof that Allah has left you. It may actually be the moment in which Allah is bringing you closer than you have ever been before. So tonight, if you are feeling alone, do not despair. Raise your hands and say, Ya Allah, I may feel alone, but I know you are with me. Strengthen my heart. Remove from me what is harmful. Give me what is good. Forgive me, guide me, protect me, and make me closer to you. And then trust Him. Because people may leave, circumstances may change, and life may become unpredictable. But Allah does not abandon the servant who turns sincerely toward Him. You may feel alone, but you are not forgotten. You may feel unseen, but Allah sees you. You may feel unheard, but Allah hears you. And you may feel that nobody is there, but Allah has always been there. There will be times in your life when you are treated unfairly, and you will not understand why Allah allowed it to happen. You may be sincere, yet someone accuses you of having bad intentions. You may speak the truth, yet people choose to believe a lie. You may help someone sincerely, only to discover that they have spoken badly about you behind your back. You may remain silent to avoid conflict, yet your silence is interpreted as guilt. And perhaps the most painful part is that you cannot make everyone understand what really happened. You want to explain yourself. You want to tell your side. You want people to know the truth. But sometimes, no matter how much you explain, some people have already decided what they want to believe. In those moments, remember something powerful. Allah knows. Allah knows what happened when nobody else was present. Allah knows your intention before you even speak. Allah knows the words you said and the words you chose not to say. Allah knows whether you were sincere or pretending. Allah knows who was truthful and who was dishonest. Allah knows the injustice that happened behind closed doors. Nothing is hidden from Him. You do not need to convince Allah of your innocence because He already knows it. This is one of the greatest comforts for a believer. Human beings only see a small part of your life. They see a moment. Allah sees the entire story. People may judge you based on one incident, one mistake, one rumor, or one person's version of events. Allah knows every detail. People can misunderstand you, but Allah cannot misunderstand you. People can forget your sacrifices, but Allah does not forget them. People can ignore your tears, but Allah knows every tear. So do not destroy yourself trying to prove your worth to everyone. There is a point where you have to say, Allah knows. If you have done what you can to correct a misunderstanding, then leave the rest to Allah. You are not responsible for controlling every person's opinion of you. You are responsible for your own character, your own actions, your own intentions, and your relationship with Allah. Sometimes the strongest response to injustice is patience. Not because you are weak, but because you know that Allah is not unaware. Patience does not mean accepting oppression without taking appropriate action. Islam allows you to seek justice, protect yourself, speak the truth, and stand against wrongdoing. But it also teaches you not to allow injustice to poison your heart. Do not let someone else's bad behavior turn you into a person you do not recognize. If someone lies about you, do not become a liar. If someone insults you, do not make insults your personality. If someone betrays you, do not betray others. If someone humiliates you, do not humiliate someone else just to feel powerful. Maintain your character because your character is not determined by how people treat you. It is determined by who you are before Allah. There may be a time when you desperately want Allah to expose someone. Immediately, you want everyone to see the truth. You want the person who hurt you to experience what you experienced. You want justice now. But remember that Allah's timing is perfect. Sometimes the truth becomes clear quickly. Sometimes it takes months or years. Sometimes Allah allows you to move forward without ever seeing the full outcome. Your responsibility is not to control the timing of justice. Your responsibility is to remain connected to Allah while you wait. Think about the prophets and righteous people who were misunderstood, rejected, accused, and harmed. Their truth was not determined by public opinion. Their relationship with Allah was what mattered. A person can be praised by people and still be wrong before Allah. Another person can be criticized by people and still be honored by Allah. Never confuse popularity with truth and never confuse rejection with failure. There are people who will never apologize to you. There are people who will never admit they were wrong. There are people who may continue telling their version of the story for years. If your peace depends on their apology, you may remain trapped for a very long time. Sometimes you have to release the matter to Allah and say, Ya Allah, you know what happened. You know my heart, I leave this with you. that does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop allowing another person's behavior to control your heart. You can forgive without trusting someone again. You can move on without pretending that nothing happened. You can protect yourself while refusing to carry hatred. You can seek justice while keeping your faith. And remember, Allah's justice is complete. Nothing is lost with Him. Every good deed is known. Every act of patience is known. Every sacrifice is known. Every moment when you controlled your anger for His sake is known. Every time you wanted to respond but chose dignity is known. Every tear you shed while asking Allah for help is known. Perhaps people will never know how much you suffered. That is okay. Allah knows. Perhaps people will never recognize what you sacrificed. That is okay. Allah knows. Perhaps someone will take credit for what you did. Allah knows. Perhaps someone will accuse you of something you did not do. Allah knows. And when Allah knows, you have a source of comfort that no human being can take away from you. So if you are being misunderstood today, breathe. Do not panic. Do not rush into anger. Ask yourself, what does Allah want from me in this situation? Maybe He wants you to speak the truth calmly. Maybe He wants you to walk away from an argument. Maybe He wants you to seek justice through the proper means. Maybe He wants you to forgive. Maybe He wants you to learn a lesson about whom you trust. Whatever the lesson is, do not allow the behavior of others to distance you from Allah. Your reputation in the eyes of people can change overnight. But your standing with Allah is built through sincerity, patience, obedience, and character. That is what matters most. One day, the truth may become clear. One day, the people who misunderstood you may understand. One day, the person who hurt you may realize what they did. But even if none of that happens, Allah's knowledge is enough. You do not need every human being to validate your story when your Creator already knows the truth. So keep your heart clean. Keep your tongue honest. Keep making dua. Keep doing what is right. Do not become obsessed with proving yourself. Let Allah handle what you cannot handle. When you have been wrong, say, Ya Allah, give me justice if justice is best for me. Give me patience if patience is better. Protect my heart from bitterness. Guide me to what pleases you. Because sometimes Allah's defense does not come in the form of a public victory. Sometimes His defense is giving you peace when someone wanted you to suffer. Sometimes it is removing you from a harmful situation. Sometimes it is exposing the truth at the right time. Sometimes it is replacing what you lost with something better. And sometimes it is simply giving you the strength to walk away with your faith intact. Never forget, Allah sees what people cannot see. Allah knows what people cannot know. Allah hears what people cannot hear. And when you are innocent, patient, and sincere, you can place your matter in the hands of the one whose knowledge is perfect and whose justice is never unfair. You do not have to fight every battle. Some battles are better left with Allah. Your job is to remain truthful, remain patient, remain dignified, and keep your heart connected to Him. Let people talk if they choose. Let rumors come and go. Let misunderstandings rise and fall. Allah knows you. And when Allah knows the truth, you can sleep peacefully knowing that the final judgment does not belong to people. It belongs to Allah. Sometimes the hardest thing to accept is that what feels like rejection may actually be protection. You ask Allah for something with all your heart. You make dua again and again. You hope, you wait, and then the door closes. A person walks away. An opportunity disappears. A relationship ends. A plan fails. Something you were certain would happen suddenly does not happen. And your first reaction may be, why, Ya Allah, I wanted this, I prayed for this, I thought this was good for me. But my dear brothers and sisters, sometimes Allah protects you by taking away what you desperately wanted. We often judge things according to what we can see. If something comes into our life, we assume it must be good. If something leaves, we assume it must be bad. But Allah knows what we do not know. You may look at a closed door and see disappointment, while Allah sees danger on the other side. You may look at someone leaving and see heartbreak, while Allah sees a future full of pain that you cannot yet see. You may look at a missed opportunity and think you have failed, while Allah may be saving you from something that would have taken you away from your peace, your faith, or your purpose. Think about how many times you wanted something in the past and did not receive it. At that moment, you may have felt devastated. You may have cried. You may have wondered why Allah was not answering your dua. But later, perhaps you discovered why. You realized that the person was not right for you. You realized that the job would have taken you into an unhealthy environment. You realized that the move you wanted would have created problems you could not imagine. You realize that the opportunity you missed was not actually the opportunity you thought it was. This is why we must learn to trust Allah, even when His answer looks different from what we requested. Sometimes Allah's no is mercy. Sometimes His wait is preparation. Sometimes His not this is protection. And sometimes His plan is so much better than what you are asking for that you will eventually look back and say, Ya Allah, thank you for not giving me what I thought I needed. My dear brothers and sisters, do not allow temporary disappointment to make you question Allah's goodness. You may not understand the wisdom today. That does not mean there is no wisdom. A child may cry when a parent takes something dangerous away from them because the child does not understand the danger. The child only knows, I wanted that. The parent knows more in a far greater way. Allah knows what is best for His creation. You may be praying for a particular person, while Allah knows that person would damage your heart. You may be praying for a particular opportunity, while Allah knows it would take you away from your deen. You may be desperate for a particular outcome, while Allah knows that another outcome will bring you closer to Him and benefit you in ways you cannot imagine. So when a door closes, do not immediately assume that Allah has rejected you. Ask instead, what if Allah is protecting me? That question can change your entire perspective. What if the friendship ended because Allah knew something you did not know? What if the relationship failed because Allah was saving you from years of emotional pain? What if the opportunity disappeared because Allah has something more suitable ahead? What if the delay is giving you time to become the person you need to become before receiving what you have been asking for? Sometimes you want Allah to change your circumstances, but Allah wants to change you through those circumstances. You ask for a destination, but Allah gives you a journey. You ask for immediate relief, but Allah gives you patience. You ask for a specific person, but Allah gives you a stronger relationship with Him. You ask for success, but Allah first teaches you humility. You ask for ease, but Allah teaches you reliance. Do not underestimate what Allah can build inside you during seasons of rejection. A closed door can teach you patience. A broken relationship can teach you self-respect. A failed plan can teach you flexibility. A difficult season can teach you sincere dua. A period of loneliness can teach you that your deepest dependence should be upon Allah. And remember, rejection does not define your worth. Just because someone did not choose you does not mean you are worthless. Just because someone did not appreciate you does not mean you have no value. Just because one opportunity did not work out does not mean you are a failure. Your value is not determined by what people accept or reject. Your value comes from being a servant of Allah. Perhaps you are crying over something right now. Perhaps you are asking Allah why He allowed a particular door to close. Give yourself permission to feel the sadness, but do not let sadness become despair. You can be disappointed and still trust Allah. You can cry and still have tawakkul. You can say, Ya Allah, I do not understand this, while still saying, I trust you. That is real faith. Tawakkul does not mean you never feel pain. Tawakkul means that pain does not make you abandon your trust in Allah. You may not know what is coming next, but you know who controls what comes next. You may not know why something happened, but you know Allah's knowledge is perfect. So stop chasing every closed door. Sometimes the most dignified thing you can do is accept that Allah has closed it and walk forward. Do not keep begging people who do not want you. Do not keep forcing relationships that Allah has allowed to end. Do not keep returning to places that repeatedly break your heart. Sometimes letting go is not giving up. Sometimes letting go is trusting Allah. Maybe the door closed because Allah wants you to walk toward another one. Maybe the person left because Allah wants to protect your future. Maybe the opportunity failed because Allah wants to redirect your efforts. Maybe the plan collapsed because Allah is building something you could never have built yourself. You do not have to understand everything today. Keep moving with faith. Make dua. Take the appropriate steps. Learn from what happened. Improve yourself where necessary, but do not sit forever at a closed door asking why it closed. There is a whole world beyond that door. One day you may thank Allah for every rejection you once cried over. One day you may understand that the closed door saved you. One day you may realize that what felt like punishment was actually protection. And one day you may say with complete sincerity, Alhamdulillah, Allah did not give me what I wanted because He knew what I needed. So if something has recently been taken away from you, do not lose hope. Tell yourself, Allah knows what I do not know. If someone walked away, say, Allah knows what is best. If an opportunity disappeared, say, Allah can replace it. If your plans failed, say, Allah's plan is greater. Keep your heart soft. Keep your faith strong. Do not allow rejection to make you bitter. Let it make you wiser. Let it make you closer to Allah. Let it teach you that not every closed door is a tragedy. Sometimes the closed door is Allah's protection. Sometimes the unanswered request is Allah's mercy. Sometimes the ending is Allah's beginning. And sometimes the thing you are crying about today is the very thing you will thank Allah for tomorrow. Now, there are moments in life when you have no words left. You have tried explaining yourself. You have tried being strong. You have tried pretending that everything is fine. You have smiled in front of people while your heart was breaking inside. And then when everyone goes to sleep and the noise of the world becomes quiet, you are left alone with your thoughts. Perhaps tears come without warning. Perhaps you sit quietly and whisper, Ya Allah, you know, my dear brothers and sisters, never think those tears are meaningless. Never think that your silent dua has disappeared into the darkness. Allah hears what nobody else hears, and He knows what nobody else knows. Sometimes your greatest duas are not long speeches. Sometimes your dua is simply a tear falling from your eye. Sometimes it is a trembling heart. Sometimes it is a quiet, Ya Allah, help me. Sometimes you cannot even explain what you need because you are emotionally exhausted. But Allah does not need you to find perfect words. He knows what is inside your heart before your tongue expresses it. You may feel that nobody understands what you are going through. You may have tried talking to people, but they gave you simple answers to a complicated pain. They told you to move on when your heart was still hurting. They told you to be strong when you were already trying your best. They may have looked at your situation from the outside and failed to understand the battle happening inside you. But Allah does not look at you from the outside. Allah knows your heart completely. He knows the pain you hide. He knows the fear you never mention. He knows the disappointment you cannot explain. He knows the memories that still hurt. He knows the nights when you could not sleep because your mind would not stop thinking. He knows the tears you wiped away before anyone saw them. Nothing about your struggle is hidden from Him. So when you make dua and the answer does not come immediately, do not conclude that Allah is ignoring you. Delay is not the same as rejection. Sometimes Allah answers quickly. Sometimes He gives you something different. Sometimes He removes a harm you never knew was coming. Sometimes He stores the reward for the hereafter. And sometimes He makes you wait because the timing of the answer is part of the wisdom. We often want immediate answers because we are living inside the problem. We want relief today. We want the situation fixed tonight. We want the person to return now. We want the opportunity now. We want the financial difficulty to disappear now. But Allah sees beyond the moment. Allah knows when something should arrive and when it should not. Imagine planting a seed and becoming frustrated because you cannot see a tree the next morning. You water it, you wait, and nothing seems to happen. But beneath the soil, something is happening. Roots are forming. Growth is taking place where your eyes cannot see it. In a similar way, your dua may be producing effects you cannot see yet. Allah may be preparing circumstances, changing people, strengthening your heart, removing obstacles, or preparing you for an answer that has not arrived. So keep asking, keep turning to Allah, keep raising your hands. Do not become embarrassed by repeating the same dua. If something matters to your heart, ask Allah again and again. The fact that you continue asking Him is itself an expression of dependence upon Him. You are saying, Ya Allah, I cannot do this without you. And there is something beautiful about making dua when nobody else knows what you are asking for. You are standing before the one who created you, and you are telling Him the things you cannot tell anyone else. That relationship is precious. Protect it. Perhaps you have been praying for something for months. Perhaps you have been asking Allah for guidance, healing of the heart, a righteous spouse, success, forgiveness, family harmony, financial ease, or a way out of a difficult situation. You may be thinking, I have asked so many times. Why has nothing changed? Do not stop. Your job is to ask. Allah's job is to decide what is best. And remember, Allah does not need to answer your dua in exactly the form you imagined. You may ask for one thing and receive something far better. You may ask Allah to bring someone back while Allah gives you the strength to live without them. You may ask for a particular door to open while Allah leads you toward a completely different path. You may ask for your circumstances to change while Allah first changes your heart and gives you peace inside the same circumstances. Sometimes the miracle is not that the problem disappears. Sometimes the miracle is that you become stronger than the problem. You used to cry over something every day, and now you can think about it without breaking. You used to depend on someone's presence, and now you know how to stand with Allah. You used to fear the future, and now you say, whatever Allah has written, I will face it with faith. That transformation is an answer too. My dear brothers and sisters, never underestimate the power of a sincere dua made in private. People may not hear it. People may not know about it. Nobody may applaud you for it, but Allah hears it. And when you cry before Allah, do not feel ashamed. Cry. Let your heart speak. There is no weakness in turning to your Creator with tears. There is strength in admitting that you need Him. The world teaches you to hide your weakness. Islam teaches you to turn your weakness into dua. Say, Ya Allah, I am tired. Say, Ya Allah, I am confused. Say, Ya Allah, I am afraid. Say, Ya Allah, I need you. Then trust Him. You may not receive the answer according to your timetable, but never assume that your dua has been ignored. Allah is not unaware of your situation. Allah is not careless with your heart. Allah knows exactly what you need. There will come a day when you look back and realize that the tears you thought were wasted were actually part of your journey toward Allah. You will realize that the nights you spent making dua strengthened your relationship with your Lord. You will realize that the pain forced you to discover a closeness to Allah that comfort never gave you. So tonight, if your heart is heavy, do not carry it alone. Take it to Allah, make wudu, pray, raise your hands. Speak honestly. And if all you can manage is a few tears and the words, Ya Allah, then let that be your dua. Allah understands, Allah hears, Allah sees. Your silent tears are not invisible to Him. Your whispered duas are not lost. Your pain is not meaningless. Keep turning toward Allah, because sometimes the answer is already being written while you are still waiting. And when the answer finally comes, you may understand why Allah asked you to wait. Until then, keep believing, keep praying, keep hoping. Because the one who hears your silent dua is the one who has the power to change your entire situation. There are moments in life when you have done everything you know to do, yet nothing seems to be working. You make dua, you work hard, you try to remain patient, and still the situation does not change. You look ahead and cannot see a solution. You look behind and remember everything you have already endured. Then a thought comes into your heart. What if things never get better? My dear brothers and sisters, this is exactly where tawakkul becomes real. Trusting Allah is easy when everything is going according to your plans. But trusting Allah when you cannot see the outcome, when doors are closing, when answers are delayed, and when the future looks uncertain, that is where the heart learns what true reliance upon Allah means. You do not need to know the entire plan to trust the one who created the plan. Think about traveling on a road at night. You cannot see every kilometer ahead of you, but you continue because you trust the road and the direction. In life, Allah does not always show you what is coming next. He gives you enough light for the next step, then another step, then another. You want the entire map, but Allah may only give you the next step because He wants you to walk with Him rather than depend entirely on your own understanding. Sometimes we say, Ya Allah, show me exactly what will happen. But perhaps the lesson is to say, Ya Allah, I do not know what will happen, but I know you do. That is tawakkul. Tawakkul does not mean sitting back and doing nothing. You take the means, you work, you plan, you seek advice, you make the effort, you apply for the job, you study for the exam, you repair the relationship where appropriate. You seek lawful solutions to your problems, you make dua, and after doing what you can, you place the outcome in Allah's hands. You control your effort, but you do not control the result. You control your choices, but you do not control every circumstance. You can make dua, but you cannot force the timing of the answer. This is why the believer learns to say, Allah knows best. Perhaps you are worried about your future. You do not know where you will be a year from now. You do not know how your finances will look. You do not know whether the opportunity you want will come. You do not know what will happen with your family. You do not know what tomorrow will bring. But you do know something tomorrow is already known to Allah. Your uncertainty does not create uncertainty for Allah. You are confused, but Allah is not confused. You are worried, but Allah is not worried. You cannot see the path, but Allah sees the entire journey. This should give your heart peace. Sometimes Allah allows you to reach a point where your own strength is no longer enough because He wants you to discover His strength. You have tried every human solution and nothing worked. You have spoken to people, searched for answers, made plans, and exhausted yourself. Then you finally sit down and say, Ya Allah, I cannot do this without you. That moment can become the beginning of something beautiful. Because when you stop pretending that you can control everything, you begin to experience the freedom of trusting Allah. You do not have to carry tomorrow today. Tomorrow has not arrived. You are responsible for today. Pray today. Do your best today. Make the right decision today. Ask Allah for guidance today. And then leave tomorrow to Allah. Many of us suffer because we live in the future. We imagine problems that have not happened. We create scenarios in our minds. We worry about what someone might say, what might go wrong, what could happen, or what we might lose. Before the difficulty even arrives, we have already suffered through it 10 times in our imagination. But Tawakkul teaches you to return to Allah and say, Ya Allah, whatever tomorrow brings, give me the strength to face it. That is peace. You may not know what Allah will write for you, but you can trust the one who writes. You may not know which door will open, but you can trust the one who opens doors. You may not know who will remain in your life, but you can trust the one who knows who belongs in your journey. You may not understand why something ended, but you can trust the one who knows the beginning and the end. There will be times when Allah's plan feels completely opposite to what you wanted. You may have planned one path, but suddenly everything changes. You may feel as though your life has been turned upside down. In that moment, do not assume that your life is falling apart. Sometimes Allah is rearranging things in a way that you cannot understand yet. A puzzle does not make sense when you look at one piece, but Allah sees the complete picture. Your life may currently feel like scattered pieces. One thing has ended, another has not started. Something you expected did not happen. Something unexpected happened instead. You may be wondering where everything is going. Trust Allah. The pieces are not random. Your Lord knows exactly where each one belongs. And perhaps one of the greatest signs of tawakkul is continuing to do good even when you are disappointed. You keep praying even when your dua has not yet been answered. You keep your heart soft even after betrayal. You keep giving even after being disappointed. You keep believing in Allah's mercy even after a difficult season. That is not weakness, that is faith. There may be a day when you finally understand the wisdom behind everything. You may look back and realize why Allah delayed something. You may understand why a person left. You may understand why an opportunity disappeared. You may understand why your plans failed. But even if you never understand every detail in this life, trust remains. Because our relationship with Allah cannot depend entirely on receiving explanations. Sometimes you must simply say, Ya Allah, I trust you. Not because everything is easy, not because you understand everything, but because you know who Allah is. He is your creator. He knows you better than you know yourself. He knows what you need before you ask. He knows what will benefit you and what will harm you. So when you cannot see the outcome, trust Him with the outcome. Do your part and leave the rest. Make the effort and leave the result. Make the dua and leave the timing. Walk through the door Allah opens. And when He closes one, do not keep breaking your heart trying to force it open. Now maybe there is another path. Maybe there is another opportunity. Maybe there is a lesson. Maybe there is protection. Maybe there is something far better waiting. You do not know, but Allah knows. So keep moving forward with faith. Do not allow uncertainty to steal your peace. You are not required to know everything that will happen. You are required to trust Allah and take the next righteous step. And when fear whispers, what if everything goes wrong? Answer with faith. What if Allah has something better planned? When your heart says, I cannot see a way, remind yourself, Allah can create a way where I see none. When you feel weak, say, Allah is enough for me. When the future frightens you, remember that the future belongs to Allah. You may not see the outcome today. You may not understand the delay. You may not know where this road is taking you, but keep walking, keep praying, keep trusting. Because the one who brought you through everything you have already survived will not abandon you now. Your job is not to know the whole story. Your job is to trust the author. My dear brothers and sisters, if there is one thing you take away from this reminder, let it be this. You are never truly alone when you have Allah. People may leave, friends may misunderstand you, someone may accuse you unfairly, a door may close when you desperately wanted it open, your dua may seem delayed, and your future may look uncertain, but none of these things mean that Allah has abandoned you. Allah knows what you cannot explain, sees what people cannot see, hears the duas you whisper in the darkness, and knows the tears you hide from everyone. Perhaps you are going through a season where you cannot understand what Allah is doing. You may be asking why something ended, why someone walked away, why an opportunity disappeared, or why your dua has not yet been answered. Do not let that confusion turn into despair. What feels like rejection may be protection. What feels like delay may be preparation. What feels like loneliness may be an invitation to come closer to Allah. What looks like a closed door may be Allah redirecting you towards something better. So stop measuring Allah's love by the ease of your circumstances. Sometimes Allah's greatest protection comes through things you never wanted. Sometimes His greatest blessings arrive disguised as endings. Sometimes He removes people, opportunities, and situations because He knows they are not good for your future. You may cry today, but one day you may say, Alhamdulillah, Allah knew better than I did. And when people wrong you, remember that Allah knows the truth. You do not have to spend your entire life proving yourself to everyone. Speak the truth when necessary. Seek justice when appropriate, but then leave what you cannot control with Allah. Do not allow someone's injustice to destroy your character. Do not become bitter because someone hurt you. Keep your heart clean. Keep your relationship with Allah strong. Let Allah deal with what you cannot deal with. And if you are making dua right now for something that seems impossible, do not stop. Your tears are known. Your silent duas are heard. Your private struggles are not invisible. Perhaps you cannot see what Allah is doing, but that does not mean nothing is happening. Continue asking. Continue trusting. Continue believing in His wisdom. You do not need to see the entire road. You only need enough faith to take the next step. Do what you can. Make the effort. Seek what is halal and good, and then place the outcome in Allah's hands. That is tawakkul. You may not know what tomorrow will bring, but Allah already knows. You may not know where the door is, but Allah knows which door is best for you. So if you feel alone tonight, turn toward Allah. If you feel misunderstood, turn toward Allah. If you have been rejected, turn toward Allah. If your heart is broken, turn toward Allah. If your future is uncertain, turn toward Allah. Do not run away from Allah because of your pain. Run toward Him with your pain. Put your forehead on the ground and tell Him everything. Ask Him for forgiveness. Ask Him for strength. Ask Him for guidance. Ask Him to protect you from what you cannot see and give you what is best for you. And then trust Him. One day you may look back at this difficult chapter and realize that Allah was defending you in ways you never understood. He was protecting you from things you could not see. He was guiding you through doors you did not recognize. He was strengthening you through trials you thought would break you. So hold on. Keep your salah, keep your dua, keep your patience, keep your hope. And never forget, people may not see your struggle, but Allah sees it. People may not hear your cry, but Allah hears it. People may not understand your heart, but Allah understands it perfectly. You may feel like you are standing alone, but you are not forgotten. Allah is with you. Allah knows you. Allah sees you. And when you place your trust in Him, you can face tomorrow without knowing exactly what tomorrow holds, because you know who holds tomorrow. May Allah comfort every heart that feels alone. Defend every innocent person who has been wronged. Replace every painful loss with something better. Accept every sincere dua. Strengthen every struggling believer and guide us to trust Him even when we cannot see the wisdom behind His plan. Ameen.